Yeah, yeah.
Sir, the product passed the quality check. Now we can ship them to Han Constructions. Jungkook nodded and gave him a document. The secretary took a glance at the paper and then looked at him surprised and confused. Why are you cancelling the deal? They are ready to work with us. But now I'm not interested. Cancel them because we don't need such partners. The secretary nodded because he can't do anything once the decision was taken by the CEO. Suddenly the door opened and a very elegant and sweet-looking woman entered inside. They both looked in her direction. The secretary bowed and smiled. "Hi Mr. Lee, how are you?" she said, walking near Jungkook's desk. "I'm good." "Nice to hear that." Then she looked at Jungkook and smiled. "What are you doing here? Don't you have to go for your wedding shopping?" "That's why I came here. You promised me that you'll go, so I'm here to take you with me." Jungkook started to remember if he really promised such thing, and he realized she made him promise that 2 days ago when he was extremely busy. "Can't you bring anyone else? Your fiancé or mom?" "I'm busy." She raised her brow. "I knew you'll say that, and no, I can't bring any of them because Justin has gone to the Japan for a meeting and mom has an appointment with her doctor, so it's only you and I don't want any excuses." Mr. Lee smiled a little, looking down as only she can scold him this way. Jungkook sighed and he knew he had to give up. "Okay, but only if it won't take long." "Leave the tension on me. Let's go." Jungkook looked at Mr. Lee. "Proceed with the shipment and give me an update." Mr. Lee nodded and then Jungkook and Somi walked out of the room. "Do you really think you made a wise choice by bringing me here? You should have come with your fiancé." He was looking at other customers present there. Mostly the men were waiting for their soon-to-be wife to choose a dress while he was with his sister. "Don't feel embarrassed. I'm training you so that when you'll come with your future wife, you can help her." Jungkook just ignored her and started looking at the dresses. "Please be quick. I don't want to stay for long." "Don't worry, I've given my design and only check whether it fit me or not. You can wait here until I go and try." He nodded while she disappeared. Jungkook was looking around, looking at the wedding gowns. He remembered what Somi just said. He's not sure whether he'll be able to come here with his future partner because he still waits for the day when he'll meet the one he misses every day. Someone whom he parted 5 years ago and wished to meet again. A man passed him talking over the phone who was waiting in front of a trial room a while ago. Jungkook was standing there when a voice came from the trial room. "This one is a bit tight from here." As the curtain slid, revealing the owner of the voice in a wedding gown, the time seems to stop for both of them. They were surprised, amazed and shocked to see each other. Jungkook couldn't believe that he was actually seeing you in front of him. "But you were not the same as before because you have lowered your eyes from him." "Ryan?" Your name came out of his mouth softly. He didn't realize that you were standing in front of him in a wedding gown, and when it hit him, his heart clenched as he looked at you up and down. He came a little closer to you. "Why are you in a wedding gown?" "Wow, this dress looks perfect on you. Did it fit?" You both looked at the owner of the voice, and he was no other than your fiancé. He came near you and looked at Jungkook confused. "Excuse me, who are you?" Jungkook didn't say anything. He was deeply hurt and wanted to clear things, but you lowered your eyes. Mingyu was getting late, so he ignored Jungkook and grabbed her hand. Let's go, it's getting late. As he walked bringing you with him, Jungkook grabbed her other hand, making you stop. Can we talk for a second? You weren't sure if you'll be able to face him. Mingyu removed his hand and looked at him angrily. How dare you to hold her hand? He thought of him as a crazy guy and walked away from there with you, and you helplessly walked away with him feeling so bad. Jungkook left alone standing. He was completely broken. A promise that she made never felt this way. Somi came there looking for Jungkook and she saw his condition. Jungkook, what are you doing here? I told you to wait. She noticed his condition. There were tears in his eyes. Jungkook, are you okay? What a crazy man he was. Do you know him? He was really mad at Jungkook even though he doesn't know him, but how he acted really pissed him. But then he noticed you. There were tears in your eyes and you looked lost. Wine, is everything okay? What happened to you? You looked at him and shook your head. You didn't wanted this marriage, but now you can't even force yourself for this marriage after seeing him. You are getting married to Mingyu, who is the son of your father's friend, and it's nothing more than a business deal, and you both are like a pawn in this game. Although Mingyu likes you, so he doesn't have any problem. In fact, he's happy, but it's not the same with you. And now it's impossible after you see Jungkook. You never thought this is how you guys will meet in the future, but things are already out of hands now, and there is nothing you can do to stop it. Jungkook came back home and his heart was so heavy that he could actually feel the pain. Today what he saw was nothing like how he wanted it. He thought he will see you in that gown after he proposes you for marriage. He worked so hard to come to this position, but he lost everything because without you, he never thought of a different ending of his life. You said that if we meet again in the future, you would love to spend your future with me. How can you forget that in just 5 years? A tear left his eyes. 5 years ago, Jungkook was sitting in the bus looking outside the window when his eyes fell on a girl running towards the bus stop. She was running in at full speed and don't know why she caught his attention. Suddenly the bus stopped and she stopped inside, breathing heavily. Jungkook tilted his head to see her. He just wanted to see her more and more. You looked at the driver when the car declined. You don't have enough balance. Recharge it and take the next bus. But I'm getting late. I can't wait for the next bus. The driver scoffed. Student, you are still late, so there's no use. He wasn't allowing you, but then a voice came from behind you. I'll pay for her. You both looked at him while he came and completed the transaction before looking at you. You smiled. Wow, you are a gentleman. Thank you so much. I'll pay you your money back. He was in the same uniform as you, so you already guessed he's from the same school. You both went to sit. You found an empty seat, so you sat on it, which was Jungkook's a while ago, but he let you sit without saying anything. You noticed that he was only looking at you and you felt a little awkward. You want your money right now? Jungkook realized what he was doing and shook his head in embarrassment. I'm sorry. You chuckled at his cuteness. The driver pulled the brake so suddenly that you were about to hit your head ahead, but Jungkook put his hand against the seat and your head only came in contact with his soft palm. Are you okay? You looked at him and nodded. Thank you. Again. We have another new student between us. You came inside and smiled before introducing yourself. Jungkook's heart skipped a beat when he saw you. He was so happy that you came in the same class as him. Annyeonghaseyo, I'm Kim Wyan and hope we'll go together well. Wyan, you can sit on that empty seat. You nodded and then your eyes fell on Jungkook and you smiled at him, making his heart skip a beat. He smiled back and now guys were giving him a look as they were planning to try their luck, but you already seem impressed with Jungkook. And that's how your love story started. You both came into a relationship within 6 months and started dating. Everyone knew about it and you both were pretty happy until the day of graduation came. So you want to break up? He was hurt but holding it back. He asked because he knew you are not doing it purposely and is equally sad too. I'm sorry, I can't do anything as I have to go. I think we can't have a future together, but if we somehow met in the future again, I would love to be with you. I hope you're understanding my situation. He could see looking in your eyes that you were trying your best to hold back your tears, but they still made your eyes moist. He hugged you for the last time, wanted to remember your touch until you met again. He was not ready to let you go, but he was understanding your situation. We will definitely meet again. That day you both parted ways, but your hearts were still connected. It was not at all easy for any of you, but your parents forced you to go and study abroad and there was nothing that you could do. Wyan, are you okay, honey? Your mother asked you when she noticed how lost you look. You looked at her and hiding your pain within yourself, you nodded. You looked at Mingyu who was looking at you and trying to connect dots as you became like this after that day when you both went to that wedding dress shop. You should not take any stress and take care of your health. Your marriage is in just 2 weeks. You felt your heart dropping once again. You were trying to find about Jungkook and you have realized he's the CEO of one of the companies here. But you didn't have the courage to face him, although you wanted to go and apologize, but it's not easy, so you decided to let it go. But Jungkook was not the type to sit silently. I will reach there on time. I'm out somewhere, so please don't ask. You ended the call and lowered your phone. You came here because this was the only place you can let out your emotions because there's no one with you. You wanted to tell Mingyu a lot earlier, even before meeting Jungkook, that you didn't want to do this marriage, but your parents strictly told you not to create any issue in this marriage. So you were just silently sacrificing yourself for them. Although your fiancé is nice, but he's not the one you are willing to love. You will always force yourself to live with him. Time and people both changes so quickly, right? Your heart skipped a beat when you heard his voice again. You quickly looked beside you and see him. He came near you and sat down next to you. He slowly turned his face towards you and you noticed his eyes were moist, but he still forced a weak smile. So you again fall in love, right? I'm sorry, I'm just a little bit overwhelmed. I'm not trying to come in the middle of your happiness. I just want to know how you moved on because you promised me. I'm sorry, but like I already told you, we really can't have a future together. Maybe it was not written in destiny, but I waited for you. I believed in destiny, but you are right. I think I was the only one who remembered it. You knew he was saying all that because he was hurt, broken and disappointed. You wanted to tell him that you still don't want this marriage, but you can't help it. I wish I could have the courage to tell my parents. I wish I could be that strong, but I'm just a loser. I disappoint everyone and ended up doing the same with you. I'm sorry. What do you mean by that? Are you getting married because of your parents? just like how they sent you away earlier. You just lowered your eyes and Jungkook understood the whole thing. Ryan, look at me. Please tell me, you can still trust me. Just tell me the truth and you don't have to worry about anything. Are they getting you married against your will? Jungkook was still ready to accept you and your love. In fact, he was ready to do anything to have you and decided to become your strength so that you can learn to stand for yourself. Ryan, you still don't trust me? He asked when you weren't saying anything and you shook your head and decided to tell him everything. This marriage is only a business deal. My dad and Mingyu's parents doing a partnership, and to completely merge their business, they are getting us married. I don't know why I got agreed, but it's not like I have another choice. How can you blindly sacrifice your happiness all the time? How will you live in that marriage when you don't love him? Your tears fell down and you looked at him. I don't know how, but I really wish I could do that. I'm really not happy, but I'm still doing it. Jungkook never thought about how much pain you were hiding inside you. His heart cried to see you like this, completely broken. You don't have to do anything for others now. I will never let that happen to you. You deserve all the happiness and I'll make sure you get that. I would have talked to Mingyu, but he's on the same page. Even he can't help because he's forced to. Jungkook held your hand in his. He started to pity you at this moment. Because you still thinks he's forced to marry you when he himself wants this marriage. And Jungkook knew this because early in the morning Mingyu himself came to his office. He warned Jungkook to not show up in front of you again because he was restless from the day when he saw Jungkook with you for the first time. You are the only one sacrificing your happiness and Jungkook will never let that happen, and that's why he came to you, to make things right once again in your life. Do you still trust me? And also, do you still love me, Ryan? Your heart skipped a beat when he asked that. There's no denying in that you still like him. Would I be called selfish if I say yes? He shook his head and hugged you tightly. You closed your eyes as the tears fell from your eyes. Never. You are not selfish. You are just listening to your heart, and I will make sure that you never have to sacrifice your happiness ever again. I love you. I love you so much. You were so happy and relieved to know that he still has the same feelings for you. His arms have the same warmth and he still loves you the same. But there was someone watching both of you from a distance. He took out his phone and clicked a picture of both of you before leaving from there.